second video of our David Hockney study, you are going to see us creating a watercolour study. So we are working in one of the other quarters of the image that we began in the last lesson. Now you'll notice that the first thing I do is I lightly rub out my pencil marks. The pencil marks will show really clearly through the watercolour paints, so I want them as faint and light as possible where I've sketched them out. So it is always worth trying to rub those out a little bit. And then beginning at the top of the image I'm painting, again, so my hand doesn't have to rest in wet paint while I'm working. I'm looking closely at the colours I can see just running along the top of the swimming pool. They're mostly orangey browny reds, and I am mixing those and adding them in just in a little dab of the paintbrush. They don't need to be absolutely perfect. And along the top of those it's slightly darker, so I'm just adding that in afterwards. If you find your colours haven't blended very well, just use a little bit of water on your brush, make sure it's not too wet, and you can use that to blend the colours after they're on the page. After I'm heading down into the water, I've started with the top section, which I can see is clearly darker than the rest of it. I've put a base colour down and then I am working over that, looking at the different dark and light areas. In the lower section of the pool, there's very clearly defined sections to the water with white veins running through them. Now I didn't sketch these in because I was worried that with the veins being in white, it would be too obvious if there was large pencil lines. So I'm doing these now with the paint. At this stage, I am focusing on just where each of the sections are. I've got a blue shade and I am working those in, looking at where each of the veins cross the figure swimming in the water. Once I complete that, then I have noticed that the Hockney image, there is tone within those sections. They do go from dark to light. So I'm getting a darker shade of the blue and I'm working it into the side that is darker on each of those little sections. And again, I can then use a little bit of just water on my brush to help blend that in with the blue, the lighter blue that's behind it. When I'm happy with my water, it'll be time to move on to the figure. However, I still feel like the top section is a little bit too dark. Unfortunately, the best way to get your light areas is with less paint on your brush and having the white paper shine through. But I've started too dark, so I'm trying to work back over it with a little bit of white, but you'll see that it's nowhere near as effective as if initially I'd used the paint properly and I'd allowed the page to shine through with thinner paint. I'm now looking at my figure. Make sure you don't paint what you expect to see. Yes, when I look at the person I can see he has skin tones. However, most of the shadows that are cast on him are blue. So most of his leg is coming in a darker shade of blue. And again, some of the veins that you can see in the water cross over the figure as well. Once you've that finished, then it's time to move on to the next section. So give it a go.